All right, Shalom, Shalom. We're the Hebrew Israelites, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Florida. We come in week week out to prophesy the downfall of America and to bring our people back to the natural nationalities, which are Latinos, Negroes, and American people that consist of 12 tribes of Israel, okay? Without further ado, I'd like to give all glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Kwakadash. Double honor to the elders that teach this truth. Salutation to the brothers pushing the truth on the four winds of the earth. Also, the sisters must apply your meekness, the fruit in the face of the world. Shalom. We're going to get right into it.
Yeah, understand Esau is the end of the world, and it's evident it's happening. What's happening right now? There's much evidence out there who Esau is. We already went into what it says. During the time of Herod, you had Herod the Edomite. You know, you already went into the history of Alexander the Greek, father being from Macedonia, but at the same time, that how they took on somebody else's culture. When you go into Malachi, the first chapter speaks about how the Lord made their wilderness, made their heritage a wilderness to the dragons of the field, meaning that they don't really have no heritage, they don't really have no history or no culture. Their culture's rich, right? But it's quite evident that right now, all of the prophecy that's in the scripture that's written is happening right now, and Esau is the so-called white man that's living today. So the brother gonna open up with Psalms 33 just to give reverence to the Most High, and then we're gonna get into the scriptures about prophecy and things that's happening around the world. Go ahead.
This is Psalms 33 and 4. For the word of the Lord is right, and all his works are done in truth.
Right, all his works are done in truth. So the Lord, what the scripture says, is there unrighteousness with God? It said, God forbid. Nah, the Most High is the one that gives you judgment. He don't care about how you feel. It's whether or not he see it to be true. Yeah.
This is Psalms 33 and 5. He loveth righteousness and judgment. The earth is full of goodness of the Lord. Verse 5. By the word of the Lord were the heavens made, and all the hosts of them by the breath of his mouth.
By the word of the Lord were the heavens made. Go ahead out.
He gathered the waters of the sea together as in heap. He left up the depth of storehouses. Let all the earth fear the Lord. Let all the inhabitations of the world stand in awe of him.
It said, let all the earth fear the Lord. Let all the inhabitations of the earth fear him. And that's why we're out here, man. Because fear compels us to come out here. It's been years and we still coming out. Even starting with the elders of Great Millstone. Because you're at the end. Right? If it says through much tribulation shall you enter to the kingdom of heaven, you can see the tribulation that's happening throughout the four corners of the earth. Right? Go ahead out.
For he spake and he was done. He commanded and he stood fast.
Right. And the reason why I say he commanded, because it's something that was spoken of hundreds, centuries ago, millenniums ago, and it's happening right now. Right? So that's what you call prophecy. The Lord spoke on these things that are happening. So whether, you know, they don't believe what we, even the Messiah said it. Yahweh Shai, he said, if you don't believe me, believe the Father, because the Father sent me. That's what he said. So even the works that he did wasn't of his own, it was of the Father. So just like the things that are happening right now, it's not like we're just making this up. These are things that are already been spoken of that's happening right now, which goes to show you that the Lord should be feared. Like the Lord told us we're going to go into captivity when we came out of Egypt. Oh, what happened? So like the Lord said, he that leads into captivity shall go into captivity. Esau, is going to happen. Like tribulation before we get into the kingdom of heaven, it's going to happen. Right? Right now, we warn with the members of our own bodies every day we wake up because we in this flesh. But then, let alone, you still got a war against everybody in the world. But they at the end, not knowing where their what the conclusion is going to be. We know the conclusion. It's us having the kingdom of heaven. Go ahead up.
Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, and the people whom he have chosen for his own inheritance.
So the people that he have chosen for his own inheritance. Blessed be the people he's chosen. Go ahead up.
The Lord looked from heaven, he behold all the sons of men.
Right, so the Lord looked down from heaven, he behold the way of all the sons of men. From the Israelite man, to the heathen man, to the Edomite man. Right? Even though Edomites are heathens, but that's the one nation of heathens that the Lord said he hates. Go ahead up.
He fashioned their heart alike, he considered all their works.
Right, so the Lord considered all the works of men. Go ahead.
There is no king save by the multitude of an host. A mighty man is not delivered by much strength.
Right, so the Lord said a king cannot be delivered by a mighty army, nor can a man of might be delivered by his own strength, right? So Esau won't be able to deliver himself, nor were we able to deliver ourselves back then, nor will we be able to deliver ourselves now, right? That's why they say it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the Lord, and we witnessed that.
And like you said,
Go ahead.
so like you
no,
said,
no, go ahead.
they said in the book of Baruch, they said the same one who delivers in captivity is the one that's going to deliver
I got you,
us.
brother. Yep. Go ahead. Break bread. Break bread.
Same one who put us into this captivity is the only one that can deliver. People don't understand that, man.
Right.
People look for comfort in other things, man, and counsel in other men. They say, woe to those who look for men and look for men for counsel. He put us in positions to seek him because he know we some knuckleheads, man. When you in trouble, Yahweh Shem Yahushua should be your first thought, man. First and foremost. Okay?
Oh, I got you. This is Baruch chapter 4, verse 22. For my hope is in the everlasting, that he will save you, and joy is come. This is beautiful. Matter of fact, start 21. Be of good cheer, O my children. Cry unto the Lord, and he will deliver you from the power and hand of the enemies. For my hope is in the everlasting, that he will save you, and joy is come unto me from the Holy One, because of the mercy which shall soon come unto you from the everlasting our Savior. Soon to come, right? From what? The tribulation as well. I'm going to keep reading. It says, for I sent you out with mourning and weeping, but God would give you to me again with joy and gladness forever. Like as now the neighbors of Sion have seen your captivity, so shall they shortly see your salvation from our God, which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting. It says, my children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from the God. That's why the scripture said we shall bear the indignation of the Lord. Because the wrath that's been brought upon us is from the Most High, right? I'm gonna keep reading real quick, all right? For thine enemy has persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction, and shalt tread upon his neck. My delicate ones have gone rough ways, and were taken away as a flock called the enemies. That was us, man. But here comes the point you was talking about. Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto the Most High, for ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you. So the Lord is the one that's gonna bring us up out of this, because he's the one that brought these plagues upon us because of our disobedience, man. Right? So that's why the Lord searching out Jerusalem with a candle. Go ahead, out.
This is Psalms 33 and 20. Psalms 33 and 18. Behold, the eye of the Lord is upon them that fear him, upon them that hope in his mercy.
Right, and so the Lord is constantly watching us. So even our surroundings, the Lord is constantly watching. So somebody come up and be aggressive, somebody come up and trouble you. Remember what the Lord said? Seeing it is a righteous thing to recompense trouble to them that trouble thee. Right? So the Lord said it'll be a righteous thing to pay them back. So the Lord is constantly watching those that fear him and that think upon his mercy and his salvation and judgment. What is everybody else looking at? They ain't looking for that. They're looking for Esau to still bail them out. What happened when they were shutting down the government? Remember you had Judahite women that was crying to go back to be slaves for Esau to go back to work for them, man. Even at the end of their world, they still want to cleave on to Esau. Right? Go ahead, Rob.
This is Psalms 33 and 20. Psalms 33 and 19, Salaki. To deliver thy soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. Our soul.
To deliver our souls from death and to keep us alive from famine. Right? Because remember, the scripture says, the slain of the men of the Lord shall be what from famine. Let's get that really quick.
The scriptures say, man, it's better to die by the sword than famine. So I'm going to read that again. To deliver their souls from death and to keep them alive in famine. And you want to survive famine, man. You don't want your stomach touching your back. Like you say, it's better to die by the sword than hunger, man.
That's true. That's true. And you go through stages too when you go, because what happens is your body, when you're famished, like your body will start to eat up your carbs. Then after that, it start to eat up your fats. Then it start to eat up your muscle. And then you have people that all you see is skin and bone. And then after everything gets depleted, what happens is your brain is smart. Your brain starts to shut down your other organs. So your brain starts to shut down like your kidneys and all of that. Then your brain starts to shut down your lungs. So your lung capacity starts to decrease. Shalom, shalom, naquam. Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Kakadas, Barakathum. Right. So after your brain shuts down your other organs, your brain shuts down your heart. And then you go into a cardiac arrest because your brain is trying to be the last organ to survive. Right? That's why sometimes people will die. People, they'll have jitters, or they'll like their body will move or something because the brain's still alive. Yeah, all your other organs have died, but your brain is still alive, man. So the Lord said He's gonna deliver us from famine in that day. Go ahead, out, read it again, Baba Kashal.
Psalms 33:19, to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine.
Right, go ahead, up.
Our soul waited for the Lord. He's our help and our shield.
Right, our soul waited for the Lord. He is our help and He is our shield. Wait, we patiently wait because we still got to suffer all of this iniquity around us, man. All this immorality around us. We still got to suffer. We still got to suffer our women being out of course with their role as being a woman under the Israelite man. You got to remember, the scripture says, the Lord is our head. All right, the Lord is our head. We're the head of the woman, and the woman is the head of the children.
Come on, brother.
Right. So, and the scripture says the Lord. What it says? It said the Lord has delight in men, right? And the man have a delight in his woman, like the woman have delight in her hair, right? Because what will make the Most High so proud is see His nation of people doing what He said and commanding and obeying them, right? We ain't doing that. Because remember, the scripture says, "Thy maker is thine husband." So in other words, we've been spiritually fornicating with other gods. That would be the same thing as like that would be the same thing as our women going out and being with other nations and other men of other nations and things like that. That's what it means. So in other words, right now we at the bottom. We lowly because of the curses. Read that again now.
Psalms 33:20, our soul waited for the Lord. He is our help and our shield.
Right, so we all suffering on both sides. Psalms 37:19 from the Quran, they shall not be ashamed in the evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. Ooh, I like that one. Yes, we ain't gonna be ashamed. Why? Because remember, the scripture says, they that laugh now shall cry later. Right, so we're gonna be the ones laughing later because we're the ones crying aloud, sparing not, lifting up our voice like a trumpet. We're the one that's crying to the Lord constantly for all the abominations thereof. Remember the scripture says, mark the men that sigh and cry in Ezekiel 9. Mark the men that sigh and cry for the abominations thereof. Right, so we sighing and crying. We're not laughing and rejoicing. Remember the scripture says, folly sit in great dignity. And folly, what are you always doing? Laughing and BS. And Jake always making vines. Jake always want to be pranking, making jokes. You know, Jake always want to make war star entertainment. That's what it is, man. To distract them from reality. That's what an attraction is, right? Yeah, that was the last verse on that one. There's more.
Psalms 33:21. For our heart shall rejoice in Him, because we have trusted in His holy name.
Right. So our heart shall rejoice in Him because we trusted in His holy name.
And like you say, His name is a strong tower.
Yeah, His name is a strong tower, but that goes back to Bishop Nathaniel saying that we don't know the name. Will you read the last part again, Baba Kashar?
This is Psalms 33:21 again. For our heart shall rejoice in Him, because He have trusted in His holy name.
Our mind.
We have trusted in His holy name.
Right. Our mind trusting in His holy name, right? Because it's like, okay, if I call this person, I know this person will come through for me. Like if I call upon the Lord, I know the Lord will come through for me. Right? It's called Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shai? Yahweh in the name Yahweh Shai. He said, I come in my Father's name. So if Yahweh Shai came in His Father's name, He came in the name of Yahweh. So where did Jesus Christ come from? Right? And there's power in the name. So you must know the name. Or Yahweh Shai said that I have declared thy name to my brethren. So he declared the name to his brethren. Why? Because Yahweh Shai said, my sheep hear my voice. You are not of my sheep because you hear not my voice. Right? So in other words, you're following a Judas goat that's following a wolf that's in sheep's clothing. That's what's happening.
Psalms 33:22, last verse. Let thy mercy, O Lord, be upon us according to as we hope in thee.
Right. According as we hope in thee. Fast. You can give me Psalms 82. Psalms 82 and 1 through 5, going into how Esau is becoming like the demise of the world. We already know what is it, second Ezra 6 and 7, going down to 9. Like, what shall be the coming of the time, the parting of sons of the time, what shall be the end of the world? It said Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of the follower. When Jacob betwixt the heel of Esau, that was symbolic. When they came out the womb, because they were tussling in the womb, and she said, if I'm blessed, why am I thus? Why are my children tussling in the womb? And they said there are two manner of nations in thy womb. Manner mean behaviors. Well, you can look at Jake compared to Esau. We are polar opposites, but we are more closely related to an actual African. That's what's crazy about it. That's how spiritually tight it is. But at the end of the day, there's always been a clash. So Esau's end is coming down. Our beginning is coming up. That's what it's always been by. It said Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. And like I said, the Lord said when his kingdom come, he said they shall put down sword and pick up plowshares. They're bombing all them innocent people over there in Palestine. They're still fighting over there in the Holy Land. So they're imposters. That's why I said a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. That's the 5th largest city in Israel. And that's written in the scriptures. So they already know that they're imposters. That's why they're still warring right now. Still fight. So you still have wars on earth because they're not the real people of the Lord. You can keep going on.
The Psalms 82 and 1. A song as of a God standing of the congregation of the mighty, he judges among the gods.
Come.
Verse
Read it again.
2. A song of
Esau.
Asaph.
Mm-hmm.
God standeth in the congregation of the mighty.
The Lord standeth in the congregation of the mighty. Go ahead.
He judges among the gods.
Right, the Lord judge among all the gods. Go ahead.
How long will you judge unjustly and accept the person of the wicked? Salah.
How long will you judge unjustly and accept the person of the wicked? Go ahead, because remember what it says. It says because judgment is executed speedily, it is still in the hearts of men to do wickedly. So that's asking, like, that's not being rude. It's like, Lord, how long will you allow the wicked to continue to do this? Like, how much longer can they do this? Like, how much more do I have to suffer? Go ahead.
How long will defend the poor, fatherless, do just to the afflicted and needy?
Yeah, so it said to do just to the afflicted and needy. What about the people in Gaza? They get their ass afflicted and they are the needy. Matter of fact, Israel, they just dropped leaflets over, what's the name of that city? Rafah? They dropped leaflets over Rafah to tell them to exit. To exit is their own city. So you're telling these people to exit this city. Why? Because you're going to bombard it with missiles. You're finna just destroy these people. You're killing, and even though they're heathens, like, we don't understand, because they're not Israelites, all of them. And that's another thing too. You got to remember. Let me say this real quick. We've been scattered all over the world because of the transatlantic slave trade. You got a lot of them people that's over there in Gaza. They really, Palestinians, they really Israelites. They really Jakes too, right? So really, they really could be oppressing our people as well. So they're saying, how long can this go on? Keep going on.
Deliver the poor and needy, rob them out of the hand of the wicked.
Right. So take us out of the hand of the wicked. We still in the hands of Esau. Remember, what was it? Psalm 17, where it said, "Lord, protect me from the wicked, which is thy sword." Really, that's the Most High's left hand. Esau is the Most High's left hand. If you really want to look at it from a spiritual aspect, the left hand of the Most High is Esau on earth, right? Because he sent our brother against us in the prophecy, because the Lord knew our downfall was going to be us succumbing to the gods of the other nations, man. You know, keep going on.
They know not, neither will they understand. They walk in darkness. All the foundation of the earth are out of course.
Right, it says they walk in darkness. All the foundations of the earth is out of course. Everything is out of course. Even the times of the seasons, because you can kind of tell, like, usually right now it'll be hotter than it usually would, but it's more cooler. It's like the seasons are overlapping over one another according to the times, right? And then even going back to everything out of course, a prime example, coming to camp, right? Remember we saw the truck driver, not the truck driver, what do you call the people? Dang, it's on tip of my tongue. The tow truck driver. Yeah, the female that was working with the dude, right? Like, that's even out of course, man. Everything is out of course. You got animals, you have aquatic animals that are beaching themselves committing suicide. That's out of course, right? Birds falling out of the sky, that's out of course. Bees walking on the ground. Like, you have wings, why aren't you flying? That's all out of course, man. Right? They tell you they banning the Bibles in school, right? But then they have after school programs for Satanism. That's all out of course. That's all backwards, man. Right? That's the world we're living in. Immorality. The Lord created Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. You create a law for that. You breaking everything out of course.
Exactly.
Yeah, how can you be fruitful and multiply when you got 2 women in bed and 2 men in bed? You can't multiply that like that. I mean, math ain't math in that way.
They gave that spirit a holiday.
Say it again.
They gave that spirit. They celebrate that whole month, which is coming up next month.
June, yeah. June month. And you know what? Also, let me tell you how wicked that is. They say June is the whole month for Pride Month. From what I was told, June is also the whole month for men's mental health. You see the irony in that? So I think June is men's mental health month, but it's also the month for pride. Like, do you not see how the subliminal messaging that is? Because at one point it was the MSDS or something like that. There was a medical like dictionary back in the 70s and 80s, and they said anyone that was a homosexual, they said that they had a mental illness. That was in their own MSDS back then. Now they said, oh no, they're not. Now it's a hate crime if you go against that. All the courses and everything in earth is out of whack, man. It's out of place, man. Right? This is Isaiah. I got you real quick back here. You can read it one more time about the show?
That's this one.
The last one, yeah. We gonna read all the way through though, but the last one.
Psalms 82, right?
Yep.
This is Psalms 82 and 5. Tablet jumped off my bad, bro.
82.
So
I got it. This is Psalms 82 and 5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. Isaiah 5 and 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter, man. So that means destruction unto you. Woe unto you. And that's another reason how you know Esau society is coming down to an end, man. Because everything is so out of course. As a matter of fact, you don't even have any unity amongst your own people, your own citizens here in America. All right, and I'm not even talking politically. I'm talking about everything that's happening. Like your skirts being lifted. Can you give me Isaiah 47 and 3? All right. I mean, we already starting with the elders of Great Millstone on down. I mean, you got brothers all over the world on the corners doing the same thing. All we're doing is telling you why America gonna be destroyed. Why you going into captivity like we did. The Lord said it. We were supposed to go into captivity. We did. You were supposed to mistreat us. You did. You're supposed to continue that perpetual hatred towards us like you always have. You are. So you're doing your part. We're just doing our part. You don't like it, but at the end of the day, it's thus saith the Lord, man. Right? And we can't put anything to it or take from it. You can start at 1. Salakia.
This is Psalms 47 and 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
Right, America. Come and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. That's symbolic, because when you sit in the dust, you're at a very low estate, and also, dust also is a state of confusion. Go ahead.
Sit on the ground. There is no throne or daughter of Chaldeans.
Oh, daughter of the Chaldeans, man. Go ahead.
For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
Right, you shall no longer be called tender and delicate, right? Talk about America, because America is really a freshly new kingdom, but I really want to say queendom, because America really didn't get established to the late 1800s, the industrial period, right? The blueprint period, the the root, the foundation of America was built off of slavery. But the actual structure of America didn't really start, the kingdom really didn't start till like the late 1800s. So this is a very short-lived kingdom, right? So you're on your throne, you're at the top, you're at the apex, and as soon as it's like a plane that just took off, and then all of a sudden, all functions just die. All lights go off. So as high as America went up, your dissension is going down just as fast as you came up, right? So that just goes to show you that you're not the apex predator anymore in the food chain when it comes to like all the countries in the world. Go ahead up.
Verse 2, take the milestones and grind meal. Uncover thy locks, make bare of the leg. Uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers.
Right, so you got to remember, America's vibration is feminine. Because, they refer to it as Lady Liberty, right? Right? They also call America, the feminine version. Rather than Amerigo, who America was named after Amerigo Vespucci, the Latin navigator. The Latin navigator, So, America is going back to Esau. What it said, the virgin daughter of Babylon. What does it mean, virgin daughter? Because you haven't been, I'm going to just use the word, how people say, fucked over yet. People say, oh man, this dude fucked me over on the deal. Well, America has never been penetrated by a war, right? There's never been a war on American soil that was from an outside country. Yeah, you had Civil War, you had American wars, you had factions in America of different colonies fighting, but you haven't had like Japan set foot on American soil, the continental USA at that, and fight, or any other country, right? That's what it's saying. Go ahead, out.
This is Isaiah 47:3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered.
Right.
Yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man.
Right. So America's nakedness has been uncovered. It's being seen. I forgot which Rothschild it was, but it said that the internet was one of the worst things they created. Because the internet is like an open world. Like for gamers, the internet is like RPG. It's an open world game, man. Like playing DC Universe. And like when you had to create formulas like hate speech or fake news, you're trying to control a narrative that you can't control anymore. It's like a wildfire. You're trying to contain it. So what's happening is you're being exposed on all aspects. Now it's at the point where even internally, domestically here on American grounds, what you're doing to other people in other countries is affecting your American citizens from other countries like Palestine, okay? Or like from Syria, or from Afghanistan or Iraq. All these countries you go to, who's the poor that you oppress, that you're killing and murdering, they got relatives that live here as well. They don't like what you're doing over there. And then you even have your own American citizens, you're proud, down from the South, hillbilly boys, even they got a problem with what you're doing over there too, right? Get in the frame, pay attention, get in the frame. Baba Kashab. So everything's being, you can read it one more time, Baba Kashab.
Isaiah 47:3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance. I will not meet thee as a man.
Right. Hey, the Lord said, I will not meet thee as a man. So the first time you had them, you could put them on the cross, and they did what they did. This time he come back as an angelic force. Now, going back to what it said, that nakedness have been uncovered, Al Jazeera, right, is a well-known international media outlet. Al Jazeera was barred from Israel because they said due to security reasons. They say that's the first time an international news media outlet has been barred from entering Israel. Why is that? Because you're doing things that's way outside the Geneva Code. So now all of a sudden Al Jazeera, they can't document what's going on over there in Israel. And then Benjamin Netanyahu, or like the Malcolm I like to say, Benjamin Netanyahu, he said that if we're gonna stand alone, then so be it, then we'll stand alone. That don't sound like some godly people. That don't sound like God's people to me, man. Because you're over here just bombarding these innocent people over here, man. And the world sees it, and now you have all of these protests at these colleges now. That's what it means by thy nakedness being covered. You're not over there for solidarity. You're not over there for peace treaties. You're not over there for humanitarian reasons. I really know why you're bombing Gaza. You're bombing Gaza because what happened in 2021. When that ship got stuck in that canal, right? What's that? When they got caught through that strait, America could not get its military through, and billions of dollars were getting lost that day. So what happened is, this goes back decades ago. They want to build a canal, an alternate canal through Gaza. It's called the Ben Gurion Canal. That's why they're killing people over there. They don't care about them. They just want the land so they can create an alternate route because everybody, all world exports, they all cut right through that canal. And Egypt makes billions of dollars just off taxes every year. America don't like that. So when that was at the standstill with their military, they said we need to create an alternate route. That's the only reason why they do that to the people in Gaza right now. They want that land so they can build an alternate route so they can get their military and all of the international commerce back and forth through Asia. Because if you don't go through there, you will have all of the Asia countries that do exports. They will have to export all their goods around the Horn of Africa. Why would you want to export your goods all the way around the Horn of Africa when you can go right through that strait? So that's what America wants to do, create an alternate route. It's the same thing with the Panama Canal. When they murder all them innocent people, rather than going all the way down the bottom of South America, why not cut through Panama, through the Indian Ocean, so that we can do commercing with China, through the Gulf, man. It's all about money. That's what it's always been about, man. But you're at the end right now. This is Psalms 94, 7 through 11. Yet they say the Lord shall not see, neither shall the God of Jacob regard it. Understand, ye brutish among the people, and ye fools, when will ye be wise? He that planted the ear, shall he not hear? He that formed the eye, shall he not see? He that chasteneth the heathen, shall he not correct? He that teacheth man knowledge, shall not he know? The Lord knoweth the thoughts of men, that they are vanity. So just because, it's funny, just because you tell Al Jazeera they can't be anymore, that don't mean you act like the Lord don't see what's going on. You act like we really don't know what's going on. Because you have independent media outlets that have people inside that's showing you what's going on. You got something to say?
No, that's it, bro.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get back to it. Go to Mark 3 and 23.
Mark 3 and 23.
Right. In the Associated Press says over 2,200 people have been arrested nationwide across college and university campuses. So even your students here in America, they're not even down with what you're doing over there, because you have a lot of Palestinians here that go to college and universities here. Like, prime example, people from other countries come here for education, for money, and they ship it back, wherever they're from. So they come here for the education, but they're not with you being an enemy to their homeland, their country of origin, right? Because I also saw that NYPD officers, they fired gunshots at Columbia campuses to disperse students, man. But it's supposed to be the First Amendment, right? Freedom of speech. So you can't freely protest that you're against your own country committing a genocide. It got to the point even CNN's like, this is getting out of hand. They won't use words like genocide when it comes to their enemies, right? But then, like, a prime example, they called it a genocide, and there was 3 officers, and there was one U.S. Marshal that was going to give out a warrant. Jake, AK-47, up top. 3 officers, U.S. Marshals down below. They're aiming up. All they have is pistols. He killed all 4 of them, right? But the whole purpose of me bringing that up, in the newspapers, they called the officers, and they called the marshal a victim. You know what I'm saying? They call him a victim. But if it was somebody else, they would say, "Oh, this suspect." You know what I'm saying? How they use different. That's how they use their language, man.
They crowned them different, man.
Yeah, exactly. They're not in trouble as other men. Exactly. And there's also there's a video. It says the chairman of Jewish Studies, Annalise Orlick, she was out there with students at Dartmouth, and the police officer shoved her to the ground, bro. No lie, this elderly white woman looked like she baked cookies, bro. Like she knit like sweaters and stuff, and they pushed this lady to the ground, bro. All she's trying to do is protect the students from the police. But this is the world we live in, though, right? And like you say, God bless America. You say that America's the greatest country in the world. The world hates America, man. Even here in your own land, you have your own citizens that's against what you're doing. Why? Because now you have something that's called freelance media. So people don't have to just sit there and watch CNN Now the city doesn't watch Fox anymore. You're being exposed. And your kingdom's coming to a halt. All right. What I had you here?
Mark 3 and 23.
Come on, you read that up.
Come on, this is Mark 3 and 23. And he called them unto him, and he said unto them, parable. How can Satan cast out Satan?
Right.
And if a kingdom it be divided against itself, the kingdom cannot stand.
Right. So if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand, man. So here it is, you have it. 2,200 people being arrested, right? You got officers firing off shots, right? You have students out there with signs saying that Brown is for genocide in Palestine. So even here, even in your own domestic soil, they're against it. So just imagine how the rest of the world views what's going on over there. And remember, Benjamin Netanyahu said he don't care if he's by himself. But you know what it's going to do? That's going to draw America in. And when it draws America in, America have allies that don't want to be a part of that as well. Because they have other business commerces that they have with other countries, man. So right now, America's really shooting itself in the foot. You know, self-inflicted wounds. Why? Because pride has deceived thee. And pride go up before destruction. We're seeing the destruction right now at hand. All right? Go ahead, Al.
Mark 3 and 25. And if a house is be divided against itself, so like Mark 3 and 26 now, and if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end.
But have an end. And the word Satan just means enemy. Satan means enemy, adversary. It's not some mythological being, right? So if it's like the enemies fighting amongst each other, it's in-house fighting. Let them have it. Let them argue and fight and bicker over there. Because now they're arguing amongst one another about the demise of their own kingdom, man. And you can see that happening with American allies as well, right? And going back into the economic structure of America, America is on a constant decline. Looking at that right now as we speak. Matter of fact, you want to give me James 5 and 1?
James 5.
Right. I actually had a post. It was a post I saw. I was intrigued somewhat when I saw it. I said, wow.
Go ahead.
What you got? Yeah,
James 5 and 1.
5, 1 and 2. Baba Kashaw.
This is James 5 and 1. Go to now, you rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you.
Right.
Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten.
Right, moth-eaten. So it says, how to now, you rich men. Now, right here, this is an article from MoneyWise. Peter Schiff says, get ready for a major dollar decline. Predicts end of greenback as global reserve currency. Now, when you're talking about statistics, you got to get a good understanding. When you talk about percentages, these percentages are not talking about 7% from a dollar. We're talking about billions, trillions of dollars when they're talking about these percentages, right? So right here it says, de-dollarization. Schiff is predicting a phenomenon known as de-dollarization. When the country shifts away from the greenback as a reserve currency, medium of exchange, or unit of account, right? It's true that the dollar has experienced a slow decline in recent years. IMF data shows the greenback share of global allocated foreign exchange reserves has fallen by around 7% since early 2016. And what's so ironic about that date or that year, that's when Iran, China, and Russia started getting rid of their U.S. Treasury bonds. During that time when they started getting rid of all those treasury bonds. So you think about 7% fall from 2016 all the way up to 2024. That's a big hit. It's a big hit. I mean, it's not like they're gonna feel it now, but when they're thinking about quarterlies, that's a big hit because they're dumping all these treasury bonds off onto other countries that already owe American money. So it's kind of like cutting off a deal. You know what? I know I owe you $20 million on your contract, but I'm gonna just pay you off, and I just want you away. I want you gone. That's what's happening right now. Right. So, anyways, going back, but central banks still rely heavily on the U.S. dollar. Of course, it's a catch-22, with the currency accounting for 58% of reserves in the fourth quarter of 2023, compared to the euro at 19%, yen at 5%, British pound at 4%, and China at 2%. And the reason why America's still over 58% is relied on the world's global currency is because going back to the 1970s, when Henry Kissinger went to Saudi Arabia, he said, "Listen here, you give us these bullion, and we'll give you X amount of dollars whenever you want your gold back." Excuse me. No, you good, brother. You good. Whenever you want your gold back, we give you your gold back. What happened? They killed the gold standard and they kept all the gold for Saudi Arabia. Then they got in cahoots with Saudi Arabia as being one of their allies in the OPEC, which deals with the oil. And then on top of that, they started to give them they started to do arm exchanges with Saudi Arabia. So that's how America become one of the biggest, well, actually the biggest world reserve currency, because they forced the world to use it, especially after they dropped the bomb on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, right? So in other words, America bullied the whole world. It's kind of like this, boom. You running one block, you selling your dough on your own block though. I'll come to your block, hey, what's going on? Listen, there's a new sheriff in town. So by the end of every month, we're gonna need 15% of whatever you make. That's what America's doing. If you want to sell your own oil, you got to use my currency. So then now there's a foreign exchange rate. So that's how America had all people heap unto them. Speaking about that in the Bible, it says, he heap unto him all nations, he neither keepeth their home. That's America. Over 800 military bases all over the world. Yeah, that's a man that can't keep at home, right? He's a rolling stone. So now that you can see all these countries, they're getting away from the dollar, because what rivals the IMF is BRICS. BRICS is an alternate of IMF, and it's actually an acronym. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. But now they have a whole plethora of other small countries that really can't defend themselves against America militarily or financially. Now they're actually siding with BRICS. So that's what's happening to the dollar right now, man. It's on a constant decline. Go ahead, you can read that again.
James 5:1. Go now, you rich men. Weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you.
Rich and howl for your miseries that shall come upon thee. Go ahead.
Your riches are corrupted. Your garments are moth-eaten.
Your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. And listen. This is going to show you that money really has no value. The money that you create has no value. All right? Right here it says, rather than losing its global reserve thrown to another currency, Shift is more interested in data that shows central banks are ditching the dollar in favor of a shinier and more stable alternative, gold. Wait a minute, how can gold be an alternative when gold was always it was the criteria? Because gold is God's money. You know what they say? They say gold is God's money. But that's because you cut down a tree that keeps you alive to breathe and plant your face on it out of pride with ink. You think that had more value than that tree or gold? No. Gold always been the standard. All right? Matter of fact, gold always been the standard because they said that silver is a poor man's gold. So gold is the standard. So now all these countries are leaving this fiat currency and they're going back to the natural resources. Like palladium, like looking at like palladium, gold, silver, uranium, mercury. That's real currency right there, right? But anyhow, continue reading on.
James 5:3. Your gold and silver is cankered. Your rust of them shall be witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire.
Right, and shall eat your flesh as it was fire. Because what's happening? Your money's being burned through, man. You in so much debt. Why would I want to deal with a dollar? You in so much debt, man. You know. Matter of fact, can you give me we're gonna switch gears real quick. Can you give me Jeremiah 50 and I think 45? Jeremiah 50 and 45. Hold that on that, Baba Kashab. So right now, going back, so you're losing the battle here, right? I'm showing people. Then financially, they're ditching the dollar, ditching treasury bonds. You got BRICS. You got all the other countries that want nothing to do with America financially. Now also in Africa, they're kicking out the military, right? I just saw an article. Now it says Chad moves to kick out United States military. And you want to know why they're getting kicked out? Because of Russia. I'm going to go into that. So this is from popularresistant.org, right? It says the U.S. is staring at yet another strategic loss in Africa. Chad's Air Force Chief of Staff has written to Washington's defense, attached ordering the Pentagon to cease its operations at the Algiers Kosi Air Base near the capital. All right. So he written a letter like, listen here, we need you to discontinue all operations around here. Okay. Now I'm just going to continue to read on a little bit more. All right. Because it goes on to tell you that they started using right here. It says in January 2024, Mohammed Debi stressed the need for sovereignty. So they want to separate themselves from America. They want to be sovereign, their own state. During a meeting with Russia's Vladimir Putin, observers say Chad is following the path of Sahelian trio Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, which have expelled U.S. and French troops and make security agreements with Russia. So America's losing on all fronts, man, financially and militarily. So Chad, Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, they told United States and French troops to get out. Why? Because Russian troops are coming in. And that, you know what, a lot of people don't understand. I think it was like about 4 or 5 years ago, they started killing all of those British farmers down in South Africa, just all of a sudden. They were like, get out of here, because they were talking about the apartheid. Then you had Biden come on and all the British, news outlets, oh, they're over there killing the white Caucasian people that colonized South Africa, blah, 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 blah. Why do you think all of a sudden they just rose up and started killing them? Well, or harassing them, I should say. They wasn't just like out, just like slaughtering all of them, but a couple of them did lose their lives. Because they're getting backed by Russia. They're getting backed by China. China and Russia are investing a lot of money over in Africa right now. Now, I did see a video of a Chinaman that was beating some African men like they were slaves. But you know what? A brother put that up on YouTube, right? And you know what I put in the comment section? I said, what two nations gave us the most problems when we came out of Egypt? It was Edom and it was Moab. Esau and Moab gave us the most problems. Always did, always will. Right? So anyways, going back into that, man, they just go to show you that you read it. It was Isaiah 47:1. Come and sit in the dust. There's no throne for thee. There's no more throne now. Right? And then, like I said, all of the tension and all the protesting that's happening in your campuses is going to show you that there's no unity here, man. There's no solidarity. So in these last days that we're living in, looking at the minds of the people, which way are we supposed to go? Because we can't be around them when all hell breaks loose, because it's going to happen. They don't want the day of the Lord to happen, but it's going to happen. Can you give me... You
want me to get Jeremiah 50?
Yeah, Jeremiah 50 and 45.
Yeah. Jeremiah 50 and 45. Therefore hear you the counsel of the Lord that he have taken against Babylon, and his purpose that he have proposed against the land of the Chaldeans.
Right, Chaldeans.
Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out.
The least of the flock shall draw them out. Because remember, Benjamin Netanyahu said it. If we stand alone, we stand alone. Because a lot of countries, they're not siding with what's going on. But America's going to get drug in. It's going to happen. Israel's going to drag America into this war. And that's going to start World War III for real. And then Armageddon's going to happen. It's going to happen. Okay, go ahead.
Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them.
He's going to make their habitations desolate with them. So you're going to make America desolate with you as well. Because, for one, it's biblical prophecy. And for two, the Lord said he's going to gather us in the valley of Jehoshaphat. Matter of fact, he read. I got that.
At the nose of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry heard among the nations.
At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the noise of the cry of the nations. The noise, because what? Because it's going to get hit by ICBMs, man. and it's gonna be heard all over the world. I mean, everybody got a phone. You know, you got satellite imaging. What happened when the Twin Towers went down? They showed satellite imagery that you literally can see the pillar of smoke from space. You literally can see that. So just imagine, America get hit. You're gonna see it from space as well. We're gonna see it from the looking glass in the chariots, man. Yes, you want to add on?
No, brother.
You understand what I'm saying? The looking glass in the chariots. But this is to the end of Esau's demise. This one Obadiah. Yes, sir. This is gonna be the end of your demise, man. On all fronts, on all aspects, man. You losing. You're losing.
Let me start at one.
Oh yeah.
This is Obadiah. The version of Obadiah, this saith the Lord concerning Edom. We have heard rumors from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise you, and let us rise up against her in battle.
Ambassador. The word ambassador is like a representative for a country. So let's say they were having an international conference. They would send an ambassador from a country, like a prime minister or something, right? A representative. And that's what we are. We ambassadors. Go ahead up.
Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, that are greatly despised.
So Esau, you are made small among the heathen, but you are greatly despised, man. Go ahead up.
The pride of thy heart have deceived thee.
The pride of America's heart has deceived them. Go ahead.
Thou that dwelleth in the cliff of the rock.
Thou that dwelleth in the clefts of the rocks. Go and look up Mount Petra. Because when you go into the ancient archaeological facts of what Esau used to live at, the same structures that they created in the mountains, those are the same structures that they also have today when you look at the Washington Monument. When you look at the pillars that they created there, which goes back to the ancient Greeks, which go back to Mount Petra, it goes right back to the White House. Okay? Go ahead,
Whose habitation is high, that saith the Lord, heart who shall bring me down to the ground.
This habitation is high, because whenever you look at those very tall buildings, the penthouse suites, the most expensive one is what? At the top. When you look at what the CEO office, the CFO office, where is it? It's at the top. Always at the top. Why? Because Esau used to live in the mountains. How can you live in the mountain if there's not a cave? So there has to be a cave in a mountain in order for you to live in. It's no different than when you have a waterfall, and you know how some waterfall, there's like a little cave right there behind the waterfall. That's kind of what it's like. You know? Go ahead,
Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, though thou set thy nest among the stars.
So though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and that's why when we say Esau, we talk about so-called white people. It don't matter if you're German, it don't matter if you're from France, you're from Italy, it don't matter where you're from. You are all the same, because guess what? Alexander the Greek used the eagle, America uses the eagle, the Germans use the eagle. You're all the same people. Right, you just warring amongst your own factions. Read that again, Baba Bashar.
Obadiah 1:4. Thou shalt exalt thyself as the eagle.
Thou shalt exalt thyself as the eagle. You can't make, out of all the birds in the world, they chose the eagle. Why? Because it's biblical prophecy. As you can see, the eagle on the back, and the eagle, that's one of the most ferocious. Well, it's another, the harpy eagle. It's still an eagle though, nonetheless though. But the eagle, that's one of the most. That is the most. How should I say? The most apex predator of all the birds. And I mean, an eagle would take another bird's food out of his own beak, right? And the harpy eagle is a massive eagle at that, right? But nonetheless, though, yeah, they have the same characteristics because they're the same people. There's nothing new underneath the sun. Go ahead, up.
And thou shalt set thy nest among the stars.
And they set their nest amongst the stars, the International Space Station, and also amongst us, because who was here? The Northern Kingdom was here, and they laid their nest here amongst who? The Israelites, because the Lord said, we shall be numbered as the sands of the sea and the stars of heaven. Go ahead, up, twofold.
This will I bring thee down, saith the Lord.
And that's beautiful, because you remember we brought out Isaiah 47. Lord said, he said, sit down in the dust, there's no more throne for thee. Go ahead, up.
If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off?
Right. So if thieves came to thee and robbers by night, how are you cut off? Go ahead.
Would they not have stolen till they had enough?
Right.
If the grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some grapes?
Right. Because technically, if you gather grapes, you got to leave some. There's even a law on that. You know, the Lord said that whenever you go to graze your own fruit, He said you only pick the fruit that's on the tree. He said the fruit that hits the ground you don't pick up, because you can have a hungry stranger pass through your land and he can take the food on the ground, but you can't take the fruit off the tree. So there was a welfare system in the ancient days. You know, a hungry fellow walks by, he can eat the fruit on the ground, he can't take the fruit off the tree. But today you can't do that. Go ahead.
All the men of thy, how are thy things of Esau searched out?
Right. How are the things that Esau searched out? On the World Wide Web. You can get caught up on the internet. It literally called the World Wide Web, man. It's interconnected. Go ahead.
How are his hidden things sought up?
Right. How are his hidden things sought up? Because he's subliminal. You got to remember, we are the children of the light. They're the children of the dark. So you need light to walk through darkness, but even through darkness, you can still look without exposing too much light. Because you know the FBI used ultraviolet lights. So what they do, they leave you messages in plain sight, but if you don't know how to decipher it, it'll blow right past you. That's how they work. They work in darkness. They have their light from the left-hand side. Go ahead.
All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee.
So all the men that was at peace with thee has deceived thee. We're talking about your allies, and all of those of thy confederacy have brought thee to the border. Hell, right now you're at the border, at the brink of war as well. All your allies, man. I mean, listen, America's fighting so many wars. They had the war in Ukraine, right? They have the war over in Gaza right now. They still having the war over there dealing with China. And now they're trying to beef with, I forgot which country it was that's going to allow Vladimir Putin to have a base in South America. I mean, this is Rome all over again. America is stretching its military too thin. And you're leaving your home base wide open. Right? And like nobody's camping at home on B, playing Call of Duty. Go ahead.
And prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee.
They that eat thy bread has laid a wound under thee. In other words, they that do business with you, they left a wound under you, man. And a prime example of that, it would have been Germany. When they had the Nord Stream pipeline with Russia, but Biden them, they went and conspired and they blew it up or whatever. Yeah, that was a prime example. Because rather than us spending extra, we're spending extra money to get energy from America to Germany. Why not build a pipeline from Germany to Russia? America didn't like that, man. And that would have been a wound left under them. That's why they did that. Go ahead.
There is none understanding in him.
Yeah, there's no understanding in that. That's stupid. How bright can you be? Your ally wants to go ahead and make money with your enemy, and you're so full of pride, you're going to destroy their pipeline. So now not only are you destroying their pipeline, you're destroying your relationship with your own ally. There's no knowledge in you when you do that. Pride really is deceitful, man, because you're more than willing to sabotage your own friendship with an ally because he wants to befriend somebody else that's your enemy to you. I mean, at the end of the day, they have to look out for their own financial sovereignty for their own people. But you want them to keep paying money with you. No, that's not right. So it's not wise what America did. And they're losing allies in the process. Go ahead.
Shall not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men of Edom, and understand out of the mount of Esau.
Right. And the understanding out of the mount of Esau. Go ahead up.
And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter.
Right, everyone of the mount of Esau shall be cut off by slaughter. And that goes from Teman to Javon. Well, see, no, Tubal. See, now they're talking about Jephthah. But pretty much what I'm saying is, going back into that, it's talking about the Germans. All right, the wise men. Because what happened after they dropped the bomb on Nagasaki and Hiroshima? You had Russia and you had America when they was in Germany. Remember, Russia and Germany, they pretty much dismantled what America and Russia dismantled what happened in Germany. But at the same time, though, they dismantled the nuclear physicists. That's why America was trying to create nuclear bombs. They had their atomic trying to create nuclear bombs, and Russia did the same thing too. Then came the Cold War. I think I got everything correct. Go ahead, Al.
Obadiah 1 and 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever, man. Cause who was Esau's brother? Who Esau's brother, huh?
Oh, wow.
Who's Esau's brother, huh?
Oh, Jacob, Salaki, I'm sorry, brother. Jacob, Salaki.
yeah, Esau's brother Jacob, man. Who's Jacob? Who's Jacob?
Israel.
That's another name for Jacob. Who's Jacob today?
Us.
Yeah,
us.
So
Israel.
Negro Latinos and Native Americans.
First tribes of Israel, Salaki, brother. Salaki.
It's all good. Right. We are. And Esau, Edom, so-called white man, woman, and child. You always had a perpetual hatred towards us, man. And this is going to be to the end of your kingdom. Because remember, you build a city that was established on blood. And the Lord said, shed not blood, because blood defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed except by the blood of him that shed it. So it's inevitable. Like the agent told Neo, he said, Mr. Anderson, he said it's inevitable. I love that word. Go ahead, man.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. And the day thou shootest of the other side, and the day of the stranger carried away captive in his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates.
Yep, and when foreigners entered into our gates, because when we went into captivity, we went under all the nations. But when we was on the west coast of Africa, Esau and the heathens, Esau and Ham, the real Africans, they came together and they put us into the captivity, to the hardcore bondage, man. And if you really want to get technical, the first slaves came from Portugal and Spain. The major bulk of the slaves came from West Africa. So if the first slaves came from Portugal and Spain, that's an indication in secular history that we was ruling Europe for over 1,000 years. And Vladimir Putin showed that, which we got books on that. We showed plenty of that. But Vladimir Putin showed it to the world. All y'all out here that want to be a nigga, you worship niggas, all right? So y'all worship us, but little did you know, you can never be us. Can you read that again? Because you can't be saved.
Obadiah 1 and 11.
You're not an Israelite.
And the day thou shootest on the other side, and the day that strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners enter into his gates, cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou west of them.
Right, you cast lots on us, man. That's what it says. It said you sold a boy for a harlot. All that kind. No, you sold a boy for wine. All that. Girl for a harlot. That did all kind of wickedness, man. Y'all had us up there naked on auction blocks. It's the same thing they do right now in the NFL, NBA draft. They have you come out there with them damn Speedos on, them their butt naked, and you stand right there. Or when they do weigh-ins, when you boxing or doing MMA. Same thing they did when they had us as chattel in slavery, man. Same thing, same concept. Cause they're trying to sell you to the highest bidder. Which team want this man? He's 6'4", 220 pounds, runs a 4.5. He has a 36-inch vert, wingspan, such and such. You know what I'm saying? That's how they do. Go ahead, dog.
But thou shouldst not have looked on the day of thy brother, and the day that he became a stranger.
Right. So you looked on the day that we became a stranger. You looked on the day that we was at our lowest estate, so to say. Go ahead, up.
Neither shouldst thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction.
Right.
Neither should thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress.
And they did. They did that. They spoke proudly about butchering us and killing us, man. It's a book called Without Nature. It's a book called. I'm sorry, Thwada. Thank you, brother. I was thinking about Nature Knows No Color Line. There's a book called Without Sanctuary, man. This is a publicized book, all right? That you can actually go and look up. What they call it, the ISN number, whatever. This is a book you can pick up that shows you the history of America. All right, they have actual postcards. The first postcards was what? The first postcards was pictures of us being either hung, castrated, burned, all manners of evilness. And they'll take a picture and they'll send a postcard to their relatives and say, yeah, we had a barbecue last week, or wish you was here, right? So that just goes to show you, man, that they took pride in taking us into captivity. They took pride into belittling us, dehumanizing us, and being very. They took pride in that. They took absolute pride in that. To this very day, they still look at you as a nigga.
Yeah, the scripture says never trust thy
Never
enemy.
trust thy enemy.
Never forget the days of old.
Never forget the days of old, right? Hold on, even the Lord said, remember the days of old.
Yeah, remember the days of old.
Remember the days of old. Exactly. Hell, I always say this: when you go fill out a job application, they want a 5-year history or your work experience. So the Lord required a pass too. Go ahead.
Thou shouldst not have entered into the gate of thy people the day of calamity. Thou shouldst not have looked on their afflictions in the day of calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity.
Keep going.
Neither shalt thou have stood in the crossway, cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldst thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of his distress.
Hey, you can see that when you watch Roots. I'm going to use the same analogy all the time. In the very beginning, some escaped, some didn't. And then they gathered them up, and then, they put them on the, what was it called? The gate of no return, man. Once you get on that ship and you sit across the waters, you're not returning. And so Esau had that perpetual hatred towards us, and that was just biblical prophecy, which is why at your greatest, we were at our least. And then even in your decline, you're at a worse state than you were in the beginning. But even Jake and all of his wickedness is still rising to the top like cream. You know what I'm saying? So it just goes to show you he's not fit for rulership. Because shouldn't any of your people be suffering? Like, to the core, man. How the hell you got a war veteran out here begging for money? A war veteran. I don't give a fuck what country you from. Any man, men only should go to war. Any man's willing to lay down his life for his country, that man should not have to beg for nothing. That man should not be out asking for change. You shouldn't have to keep filling out forms for some freaking veteran affair, whatever that junk is. That pisses me off, man. But nonetheless, though, this is what you get when you become property to this government. They don't care about you. They don't care. They call you useless eaters, man. They'll send billions to Ukraine with a signature, but you gotta wait 6 months to get $600 in COVID. Like, that's crazy. You can send billions across the world, but people over here are starving, and people can't make an honest living because you're shutting down the country. But we gotta wait 6 months for $600, and like you still you demise of the people, man. I don't understand how people think. Like, I don't understand how that works, but go ahead, that's crazy.
Obadiah 1:15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathens.
Ooh.
As thou have done it, shall it be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon his own head.
So the day of the Lord is going to come upon all the heathens. Oh, that was heavy. Upon his own head, because in Joel, matter of fact, it's in the book of Joel. Now you can read that one more time. That was a good one.
Obadiah 1:15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou have done it, shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon his own head.
Oh, this reminds me. Here you go right here. This is Joel chapter 3, verse 4. It says, Yea, And what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if you recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. And don't forget, remember, we are also the Lord's jewels in Malachi. So we're also that gold. We're also that the ornaments. Not only just the one that they also took out of Solomon's house and all of that. We're also the Lord's jewels. What's his name? Adolf Hitler. Adolf Schickelgruber. He said it. He said America has God's jewels. No one knew what that meant. They thought he was crazy. Nah, he knew he was talking about. They had to get rid of him. They had to get rid of Adolf Schickelgruber. Yeah, man, he was talking too much. And on top of that, there was more far advanced in technology than America. Because the Mercedes-Benz way back then, way past the Ford Model T. That's why they call them the wise men of Teman. That's why, if you really look at it, the everyday, I would say the everyday basic car should be like a Mercedes, like the original like OEM car would be like a Mercedes. You know, I mean, I know people can't afford it, but that should just be the standard, because that's the word, the standard, because of the Germans, man. You know, the wise men of Teman. Go ahead, huh?
Obadiah 1:16, for as you have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. You they that drink, and they shall swallow down, they shall be as though they had not been.
Read it again, Baba Kishore.
Obadiah 1:16, for as have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Ye that shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been.
Okay, come on. The cup of the Lord's wrath. Go ahead, huh?
But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions.
Ooh, wait a minute. It says that, wait a minute. Mount Zion, he said it's going to be salvation. So he didn't say everybody, right?
No.
I just want to make sure that's what I heard. All right,
He said, but upon Mount Zion, that's us.
That's us, yeah. It didn't say upon the whole world. It said, cause before that, what it say? It said, for as ye have drunken. Oh, because verse 15, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. The next verse 16, for as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. I don't know if he said that. Maybe I didn't hear it. Verse 17, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance. So deliverance only for who? Israel. So heathens ain't got no. Man, these Christians are retarded. Go ahead. They ain't got
And
no
the house,
chance.
and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame.
So the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Jacob a flame. And we're that right now. The Lord said, my words of your mouth shall be fire, and these people wood. Go ahead, huh?
And the house of Esau a stubble.
Ooh. Facts. Stubble is a little wood chip that you use to get the fire started or keep it going. Go ahead, huh?
And they shall kindle in them.
Kindle. Keep that fire going, Salaki.
And devour them.
Mm-hmm.
And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord's have spoken it.
And that's going to happen in the book of Revelation when we get to the kingdom of heaven after 1,000 years of ruling with Yahushua. Then we're going to grab up all the book of Esau. We're going to throw them into another lake of fire, so to say. And then they're going to be consumed on the face of the earth, right? I mean, they're going to get engrafted back in because of their spirits into the other heathen nation, more than likely Ham, because to me, Ham ain't nothing but a melanated Edomite to me. You know what I'm saying? They ain't really got no salt, even though they dark. You can tell the Jake from a Hamite. But yeah, that goes back. So Esau, it's inevitable that your end is now. We look for a new heaven and new earth, land dwell of righteousness, man. Because at this moment, as we can see, your demise is here. Your end is near. And the Lord said that He's gonna come back and redeem us from all the evil that you've done to us. You got think you wanna bring out in particular?
No, bro.
You can get Galatians 5:5, Baba Gashar. Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Galatians 5:5. For we thought the Spirit wait for the hope of righteousness by faith.
Read it again.
For we through the Spirit wait for the hope
There you go.
of righteousness by faith.
So we through the Spirit wait for the hope of righteousness by faith. So by our faith, we hoping that a righteous society will be bestowed upon us in that day. That's why we keep coming out here, man. We don't want to keep living this type of life, man. It's like when you know something for so long and that's all you know, you're not willing to change because there's fear of the unknown. See, mankind is so accustomed to a certain lifestyle, a drastic change strikes fear in someone because they don't know what the outcome would be. They don't know what the conclusion would be. Well, hell, we can see America's on the verge of death. We can see America circling down the drain like the medical terms say. We can see America is terminally ill, right? So what's the end all be all? Oh, death. Well, then what's after that? The beginning thereof. And that's what we believe in. All right, but this is Baruch chapter 2. Baruch chapter 2, verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves, and shall know that I am the Lord their God. For I will give them a heart and ears to hear, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Mavachah Kodash, and return from their stiff necks and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers which sinned before the Lord. And I will bring them again unto the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it. So right now we ain't there, because what's happening right now in the land goes to show you, man, the Lord ain't came back yet. Okay? And I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their God, not all, and they shall be my people, not all. And I will no more drive my people, not all, of Israel out of the land that I have given them. Right? So with that being said, we'll give all honor, glory, and praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Chakadash. Double honors to our elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Sing honors to the elect. Peace and blessings to the 1/3, and to the Confucian faces in the four corners of the earth. Shalom. Shalom. Shalom.